Hi, I'm Panda Hershey, and I use astrology to work with entrepreneurs and their teams to take control of their businesses and their personal lives so they can thrive in both. Welcome to the September 18th Coffee and Charts call, where we talk about how your mind is finally catching up to all the things that you've been trying to do. By the end of this month, you'll have nailed it, but just remember that done is better than perfect. Listen to our conversation so you'll know what to do day by day, and I'll see you on the other side.
The arc length of the ellipse. Yeah. For a
Ah,
circle, you know the circumference. Yeah. But for an
right.
ellipse, it's not possible. Yeah. It's they have tried so long, but it's not possible to have a formula for it. Yeah. You can of course measure it. Yeah. At some point in
At
little
every
pieces.
point.
Yeah. Yeah. You can measure it in little pieces, but you do not have a formula for the length of the arc of the whole ellipse. Yeah. So it's still mysterious.
I love it. And yet you know it exists. And this is
Yeah, of
why
course.
when people, and you know it's true, that it does move in this very regular way. And yet because it cannot be proven or like demonstrated through a formula, people say it like they wouldn't say that it's passed the scientific test. In some, do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of science that is true but is not provable under the scientific method, and um,
Yet,
yeah,
yet.
Yeah.
yet, and that's what I continue to
No,
gravel.
no, it's not yet. The mathematicians have proven themselves that mathematics is not complete. There is an incompleteness theorem from Gödel from the 50s, I think, and it's already proven that it's not technically possible to prove everything with mathematics.
Wow, that's mind blowing.
So
Okay,
it's not possible, yeah. So
yeah, that
there are
makes
a lot
sense.
of things we don't know at the moment and will be possible, but we already know that to prove everything is impossible. Yeah. So this we know. Yeah.
I love that. I
Okay.
love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Welcome everyone to Coffee and Charts. Hey Krista, hey Min. And we are still in transition period. But let me ask, is anyone feeling like their minds are getting a little more clicked in, like finally catching up to like what you're doing and what the game plan is and what like things are slowly starting to come together? Hey, Laura. Well, yes, yay. By the end of the month, I promise you, you will be caught up. And we get to see why on this call, because this is the only call where I show this kind of thing, but it always gets me excited. But then the fun part is then your mind gets ahead of your actions, and then you feel like, oh man, I can't keep up. But is this wonderful pulsation of life that at least we know what it is. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. I guess my voice is still not quite back yet, but it's going to get there. Here we are on the 18th of October, and the Mercury portal is done. Yay. I think, you know, that blockage that we felt back in August where we figured out, oh, this could be good. I've got like some talent for this or a knack for it. I'm going to try to make it work. And then we hit these roadblocks in August. And that was the portal, the Mercury portal saying, okay, hang on, let's go back and make sure that you really get it in terms of what you're good at. And then there was more clarity. And now the roadblocks are gone. And this is where it's like, oh, now I know how I can take us from here. And this is such a great feeling, at least for me. So that is why Mercury is now beyond that, 4 degrees of Virgo where we kind of were stuck for a while. we are still in the last bits of this Jupiter portal here in Gemini of expanding your mindset. But the growth from here until when the first phase is done is very, very, very slow. And that's great, right? Kind of in the beginning, when you start any new thing, you pick up you grab the low-hanging fruit first, and then the things that are a little tougher take a little more time. Well, thankfully, there is this opportunity to slow down. And wherever this one area of growth seems to be popping up of, I'm going to focus on this one thing, that is the thing. And you get to do that until October, I think it's 9th or 11th. Gosh, the Pluto I think it's the 11th. And so just know that you've got a little less than a month yet, but you're still expanding your mindset. And what else is going on here? Pluto is still back in Capricorn. It went in there on September 2nd. It will be in Capricorn until November 19th. And I talked about last call about this opportunity to go back and pull out some old system or structure that you have worked with in the past and fixing it to work with the new you and where you're going. So one of the things I talked about is working one-on-one with clients again, but now it used to drain me and I figured out how to do it differently. So now I can get very excited about doing it. So that kind of thing. So if there's something in there, you're like, oh, am I a loser or am I going backwards? Yes, you get to go back and retrieve something that actually can work for you and fix it and make it like you have a wiser head on this same body now. You can make it better and make it work. But you have until November 19th, and that's when the ship sails. Okay, so let's get going. So today, Mercury is exactly opposite Saturn, and it's been opposite the Saturn portal for a couple days. And this thing of thinking, reflecting, recognizing what is just right or how to make things better is like a perspective that your dream team or the people that you're trying to work with on a day-to-day basis who get where you're at. You don't have to explain yourself to them. When you open your mouth, it's like everyone says, oh yeah, got it. Those people have a fantastic perspective on what it is you're doing. So if you've got clarity, awesome. And if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I need to tweak this one little bit, or I just need a little bit of inspiration to get that going, to get it moving, call someone on your dream team, put out the call for anyone to come talk to you. And the person who answers will have this very interesting perspective on how to move forward. And if they're not on your dream team, maybe they should be. So just something to think about. Okay. Any questions? I should just ask. I got a few thumbs up in the beginning, but we good with everything I've said to kind of kick us off? All right. So tomorrow, the sun here, getting so close to the equinox, is opposite the start of this Neptune portal, which is way over here in this last bits of Pisces. And Neptune is this effortless energy of, in Pisces, being surrounded by the people who understand. I've thought of it a lot as people who've walked a path before you, and who understand exactly what you're going through, the struggles you're facing, and how to encourage you and to let you know it's going to be okay, that you're doing a good job, that you're going to make it. And they may also be these people who want to be on the same page with you, people who are yearning for this depth that you get to offer. And with the sun being across from this, it's almost like you can call them in. There is something possibly that you can do that is going to be just perfect for them to hear you and call them in. So I've been putting up this call for a podcast about using astrology for your business. This is my goal, is to actually do the recordings during this time and feel that the energy is there for me to execute on this. It won't be perfect, but if I get it done, done is better than perfect. Okay, so I hope everyone has like some inkling of something they could do. Doesn't have to be external, but it maybe helps you get on the same page with others that you want to be with. And the next day, it's exactly opposite Neptune. So for a couple days. And then with Mercury at the end of that Saturn portal, it's almost like by having done some of that, you're connecting dots in your head of, oh, here's how all these things are going to fit together. And my mind is going to get there of what I can say to bring people together on the same page. And this is the day of the equinox. The sun here is exactly opposite the end of the Neptune portal here, and then it will move into Libra, and that is the definition of the equinox. So that's just this week. And then just not very much longer, less than a week away, Mercury will be opposite the start of the Neptune portal. And we'll have 3 days to talk about it. Maybe in the doing that we've done, people respond to us. Maybe in the doing that we've done, we get some idea and we go talk to our wise counsel. But this is an opportunity to follow up on whatever action you take. And just some action is perfect.
And
There we go.
when is
Yeah.
that? You said 3 days. When is that?
That was the 24th to the 26th, I think. It's 3 days that I think it ends the 26th. Yeah. 24, 25, 26. So
24,
it's kind of over the weekend.
24 to 26. Good time to follow up.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if you just send an email, like that's the following up. Okay. The 30th, the day we've all been waiting for. The day that Mercury catches up to the sun and crosses over at 8 degrees of Libra. So because it's less than 10, this is an initiating energy. This is a hopeful energy, an optimistic energy. It's a looking forward energy. And Libra is about one-to-one connection. So this is a great day. Leave as much space in your calendar as you can for conversations, for interaction, to be hopeful, to brainstorm, but just see who crops up. And as long as you don't crowd your day, there will be space for them. Okay. And then the second is the next Wednesday. So let's go back. And the one thing that I always think is so fun to watch is to see this Mercury catch up to the sun. You'll see that gap narrow. And it's like, oh, I can feel my mind catching up. Okay, so Mercury here in green with the little green tick, sun in yellow, and this gap is going to close and they're going to cross over up here. Notice that Mars is way back here. Just we'll talk about that maybe briefly at the end. Okay, it's getting left behind. All right. Any questions? All right.
You said a minute ago, you said November 30th, conversations, interaction, innovation. Did you mean October 30th or November 30th?
I do mean October. Or I meant September. Did I say November? Oh my God. I'm
Yep.
so sorry. It's September 30th. Okay. So by the end of September, you will have figured out how to hone that project that you have been working on. It feels like for weeks, because it has been for weeks. And it will be acceptable. May not be perfect, but is there really any such thing? But it will be fine. And getting it done is the key. And done is such a relief. It's good enough to take to someone and then have a conversation, right? That doesn't need to be perfect. But the key is that it is based on taking some action. And so keep that experimental mindset, do stuff and observe. And that will cement the things that you need to know in your head. So getting feedback, great, from the people who understand why you are working so hard, or the people who will benefit from the work that you are putting in. And once that mind catches up on September 30th, you are going to have so many ideas that you're not going to be able to keep up with for 2 months. I don't know if you guys all remember that feeling, but it's coming. Okay, so just a few different portals going on. Right now, we are in this midst of Mercury. There it is, sorry. Mercury here being opposite that Saturn portal for just a couple more days. Today it's exact. Okay. So reaching out to your dream team, great day to do it today if you can. Tomorrow, the sun will be opposite the Neptune portal for a little longer. That's 4 days, and it will be exact tomorrow. So just think of some action that you can take that is doing something that is bringing people onto the same page, helping you get on the same page with other people with this very, very deep level of, I'm going to say, understanding humanity, that common human experience. Then afterwards, this time of reflection where Mercury is catching up, just it's not much longer where Mercury is opposite that Neptune portal to reflect on what you did. And this is so nice when there's not as much space between like the repetition, it's fresher in your head. So when you do something, you'll either get the feedback right away or you'll have thoughts sooner. And that's always nicer for me. Or I don't know if that's true for me. I don't know if it is for everyone else. And then finally, on the 30th, Sun and Mercury together in Libra at 8 degrees. So what ideas can you be bouncing off with someone else? Any conversation, keep it light. That will be the energy of the day. Think of hope, think of possibilities, and leave space in your calendar. Tips for thriving. So just if you're not quite there in terms of getting it right, September 30th is your target date. And that is the day where just allow as much space as you can for people to reach out to you, people to connect to you, respond to them right away by email if you can. Just say, hey, got it. Let's set up a time or something. And if these are possible candidates for your dream team in the next cycle. So just keep that in mind as well. And please don't forget that if you are retrieving an old structure from the compost bin, that you have until November 19th to adapt it. So there's still time, in fact, almost exactly 2 months. But it is something that you need to keep thinking about. How do I make this work for the future me? All right. Now pause for a moment. Any questions, comments? How is this resonating for anyone? Any ideas on things you guys can be doing or trying?
I will say that I'm a little bit, I don't want to say concerned, but I'm feeling really overwhelmed with a lot of ideas right now. So the idea that the next 2 months are even going to be more is like, how am I going to, like, what am I going to do with all this? And so I like the idea of being experimental and just trying things out and relying on people I trust to kind of be a sounding board and just see what happens. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, more ideas will be in connection with someone else. So if you record your conversations or you both take notes and like document it in some way, like their ideas for that person too, right?
Yeah.
So you've got each other to kind of keep that thread going, and the ones that are important will stay. We'll keep going because some have to fall away.
Yes, that's good. That's good to remember too. Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Any other thoughts before there's just like a couple more things left. We're going to be on time. I love it. So, date change for the next Coffee and Charts. I'm going to Disneyland with my 2 adult daughters and my third, I'm going to say adopted daughter. And we are leaving on Tuesday. So I'm going to be begging them to let me do this at 8:30 and then we can leave. But Wednesday morning, I will definitely be wherever they tell me to be at 8:30. So it will have a different link. You'll be sure it will come out in the email, and I'll make sure that you guys have it. The reminder will have it as well that morning. So just a heads up. And something I've done recently with my people I work with pretty closely is kind of map out the rest of the year. So I'm thinking about doing a few brainstorms on, like, if you're trying to map out what you're doing for the rest of the year, there's a lot of changes going on that start in October, some key energies to keep in mind, and adapting accordingly might be helpful. And so if you are interested in that, anyone on the replay, check out the description below. There will be a way to let me know that you'd like to join. I will do more than one. They will be interactive. You get to ask your questions, bring your plans, and we'll do that. I'm excited to do it. So thinking about doing something like that for 2025 too. But we're getting there. Okay. Enough of that. Anything anyone wants to ask questions about? Anything at all? All right. You guys are ready to go. All right. Well, I'm excited to hear what happens on the 30th for everyone in terms of like busy activity. That is a Monday. Mondays tend to be busy anyway, but have fun with it. And yeah, may hope and possibility continue to thrive these days. We all want that. All right. So great to see you all. Thanks so much for coming. See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I hope you feel prepared to move easily through these next 2 weeks. Keep an experimental mindset and leave some space for lots of one-to-one conversations on September 30th. Have fun and find hope and possibility. And I look forward to seeing you next time.